My name is Frank Gray. I'm the President and CEO of Castle Rock Economic Development Corporation. I think that the really exciting part about being part of that initial group that got this thing off the ground, I think, is you just see the impact on the companies, and you see the companies have the impact on the community. And you see that a very small group of companies really have a tremendous impact on job creation and have a tremendous impact on their communities and what they do. And they inspire amazing products, amazing technology, and it's just really exciting to be a part of those small companies when they kind of make it, when they take off from that stage where they just go, man, I have found it, I have found this thing that I'm gonna do, and we are gonna make it work. And the really interesting part about Colorado Companies to Watch is you're recognizing those companies when they kind of has gone already a little bit past the stage where it's just been, boy, I hope this works, to, oh my gosh, it works. And so I think that part's really exciting, and I think you can see the impact, whether it's a small community or a large community, you see the impacts of those types of companies where they make up a very small percentage of the actual businesses that are out there, but their impact is so tremendous. And I think that's what inspired me to be a part of it. And we wanted to take this thing from something that we had thought of and thought would be a great idea and watch it explode, and now it has across the state, and it's just been super exciting, because I think you, just like a second stage company, you just go, wow, oh my gosh, we made it. This thing actually has taken off, and I think that's been really exciting to watch and really exciting to see. I think there's not a lot of people that really recognize that the public-private partnership is so integral in Colorado Companies to Watch, in really understanding the fact that the partnerships, that when you can help bring assets to the table or connect the company with key assets that's going to help their business grow, I don't think really anybody really appreciates how much these companies provide jobs in the community, provide the type of technology that we see on a day-to-day basis. I think everybody just kind of goes, well, you know, there's only big companies out there. They only do these big electronic things, but you realize that all these little components, all these little pieces of these bigger electronic components, or is an easy example, but all those little things are made by smaller companies, or inspired by these smaller companies, and they found a way to make it better. They found a way to make it more interesting. And I think when you start to realize that the partnership between the community partner, whether that's an economic development group or whether that's a city or a town, and the private sector organization, you see that that's where the strength comes from, because they can help each other. The community gets the jobs, and the community gets all those things that happen, but the company also gets a benefit on that, and as well as going, you know, we're part of this community. We make up what it's about. When you've been a part of something like this that's really just kind of grown organically and taken off, you look back and you go, wow, that all started in a courtyard with some pizza and an idea. So I think we have, as Colorado Companies to Watch, kind of taken off just like a lot of the companies that we work with have. And I think that's a highlight for me, is that this thing has really just exploded. When we had our first year, we were, gosh, I hope 100 people show up to this thing. And I hope the companies will actually come. And then now it's turned into, you walk into the room and there's 800 people. I mean, you're filling one of the premier downtown hotels with 800 of your closest friends and companies from across the state, and stuff that you never knew existed. You find out about it every single one of these events. And I think it's just amazing to see all the very cool and different things that these companies are doing. Because really, at the end of the day, it's about these companies. It's about recognizing these companies, and you realize at that point that these companies love this. This is a great thing for them. It's a great thing for our state. And when they get that recognition that, like, we've made it beyond just scratching by, we're starting to grow, and we're starting to become this second stage company, and we're starting to be viable, and now somebody recognizes us and pats us on the back, man, it feels great. And I just got to expose my product and what it is I'm doing to so many more people, I mean, those type of stories are just awesome, and I think those are the fondest memories that I've had as we've gone through this process. And I think also one of the things you think about as you move through this process is, what is this program going to do going forward? Because you realize how impactful it is to a lot of these businesses. And I think the thing that excites me is that just because we're the founders and now we're no longer on the board and we're no longer intimately involved with the organization on a day-to-day basis, you still see it moving along, you still see it doing great things. And I think that feels like, man, we've left a great legacy to the future of second stage companies and how they move and grow within the different communities. The impact I want for Colorado companies to watch in the future is that we continue to realize that the partnership is paramount. That having the partnership, the public-private partnership, is really key to everything moving forward. The companies can't do it on their own. They can run their company on their own, but they really can't engage in their community by themselves. They have to have their partners with them, and they're part of the success. I think the company drives the success, but I think that the partnerships allow the success to grow and really be something more than just, boy, we're just slogging away here today doing one thing at a time. And so I think the legacy that I would like to leave is that my kids or my grandkids or whatever the case may be, that Colorado Companies to Watch is still something that's around then, and it's still something that inspires, future companies. I think one of the most interesting stories to be told about Colorado Companies to Watch is how it all kind of got pieced together, from everything from the first meeting with Hazel, myself, and Chris, and Stephanie, and saying, well, how do we take this thing that we think is a great idea and make it something bigger than just our idea? And I think that story of how Stephanie took it and said, well, I think we can make this a bigger thing, and by taking it to the state, and we all said, oh, that's a great idea, let's see how we do that. And then it was just, bootstrap up. Well, can we go find sponsors? Can we go find people? Can we go find partners? Can we say, it was very much like starting a business. It was like, how do we find the capital? How do we find the right people? How do we find all those things that we need in order to make this a success? And so I think those things are really exciting about what it is we're doing. And I think that's a great story. And then now you see the 800 people in the ballroom, and you see the 17, 18 board members with all the different committees, and you just go, really, this is something that, that started in a courtyard in Littleton over some pizza? That's awesome. So I think that story is a really powerful story because it mimics kind of probably a lot of how our companies got started.